All right, class is in session. I want to do a breakdown of this criminal case right here. This is Alan Helmiak. He is going to be, or he was murdered by his wife. He was a beta male provider to his wife. He was awesome to her. He loved her dearly. He doted on her. He gave her everything she wanted. And what do we always say? The surest way to lose a woman is to give her everything she wanted. This is a classic case of, and I don't want to be speak ill of Alan at all. This is not to speak ill of him. This is to learn from these situations, and this is to respect him. And I want to say he was a great man. And I've done numerous videos of beta male providers who are great men, respectful men. He was doing his best to love his wife the best he could. Unfortunately, he didn't have the knowledge that I'm giving out, and and I've gotten from reputable sources. And you can go get, other people are learning about nowadays, and this could have saved his life. This is how important this stuff is. Alan Helmiak meets his demise because he was a beta male provider to his wife, and he didn't know he wasn't respected. He didn't know he wasn't loved, and he didn't know how disgusted women get when they don't love you for your presence. They don't love you for the alpha bang that you are. He thinks, and as my father and many of us were brought up in society and culture to be, good men, and to be what we thought were good men to women, and that were providers and protectors, and and to just be the beta male provider. And that was kind of the running wisdom, right? Be a good boy, Johnny. Go get a spelling bee, 100 on your spelling bee, and go join the chambers of commerce, and be a business leader, and find a good woman, and just be good to her, and happy wife, happy life. And that kind of attitude gets, is not the way you deal with women. Women, do not want to be dealt with that way. And women want you to know how to deal with them. They're not going to tell you. So, and if you don't get it right, well, too bad. Women are not empathetic, or are not sympathetic to men who don't know how to deal with them. And I mean, this is not a bad thing or a good. I mean, it's not moral. It's science or facts or whatever. But this is Alan Helmiak, and like I said, he's from, I believe, Delta, Colorado, and which is near Grand Junction, Colorado. And then, so that's where he's from. That's where he lives with Mary Helmiak, and that's where he's murdered. He bought her a horse training business. He bought her a dance studio, which, all lose money. Which, he's a good businessman, but, he didn't realize that these were bad businesses. His wife was not good at doing her business, her part of the business that he provided for her. I mean, anyway, we'll go through it, but I'm just trying to give you the highlights to start this. She actually tries to murder him twice. The police tell him, on the first investigation, she tried to blow him up in his car, like in the movie. They had just rented the movie, No Country for Old Men or something like that. But anyway, where the guy blows the car up, and that's what she tried to do to him. But I guess that was the movie effect. But she literally tried to do that in Delta, Colorado. But they investigated that, and they even told him, "Hey, do you think your wife might have tried to do this?" He's like, "Oh, no way, she did. It's gonna be her." So, but anyway, and then 2 weeks later, she shoots him in the back of the head. So, and she also was present when her first husband, and I'm going to use air quotes, committed, self-deletion in the bed that she was in. They were in the bed together, and her son was home. Here's a pop. She comes running out. "Oh, he just self-deleted. Looks like she did that one too. So, anyway, she's serving a life prison sentence for these murders. So let's get into this. And I don't like to try to use a whole lot of this. This is from 2020. I'll link the whole episode in the description. But it's just so many learning lessons. It's so impactful if we actually look at the story that they did. They did a real good job. So anyway, here we go.
Those who knew Alan, that after his first wife unexpectedly passed away, he wanted to meet new people. So he decided to try something different: dance classes. And his instructor is this woman, Miriam Giles.
Yeah, he came in one time and we were doing something and he says, yeah, I just love dancing.
Miriam was a very good dancer, good instructor. She had me dancing, which was a miracle.
Alan, I believe, kind of had that love at first sight feeling and really wanted to pursue Miriam and did so on the dance floor.
Miriam was 10 years his junior, but Alan didn't let that discourage him. He described meeting Miriam in an interview he did shortly before he died.
She didn't want to date me, but I persisted. She's my...
All right, there you go. There's a big lesson right there. So Alan was married for 37 years, and then his wife unexpectedly dies, and that's unfortunate. It really is. It's sad. She was a mother to his kids, and he is a father to great daughters and a son that loved him. He was a family man. He had raised a family, and so a solid guy. All American dad, right? So all American guy too, right? Everything that we want a good man to be to a certain degree, but you gotta understand women. And so he meets this lady in his dance classes, and so and what is he said? He says, she didn't want to date me, but I persisted. Now, what do I say all the time? And this is an important lesson: is you only want to deal with women who have high interest in you. Okay, women chase the men they want. Women see it as a huge opportunity for the men that they want. And if they have low interest in you, then they won't respect you more than likely, and they won't love you, okay? Because if they don't respect you, they don't love you. So a woman, we always say they're hypergamous, which they are, which means they need to date up. Some say across, but no, a woman needs to think that you are better than her, and that's not a bad thing. We're not saying that women, women need to be lower than men. No, they can attain men that are better than them, right? Even if they're an awesome woman, they can get a more awesome man, whatever. And that's a testament to who she is, right? So again, if you should never persist with a woman. It is a simple. Your job as a man is to, they say men should pursue women. Well, women tend to pursue the men that they like, right? They chase the men that they like. But we'll say it like this. Men present the opportunity so they can do the introduction. Hey, my name's Alan, and hey, what's up? I think you're, a cute lady or whatever, hot lady. Let's go out, right? Now, from that moment, he's presented himself, and now she can, accept or reject. So again, and now if she really likes you, she'll accept. Because how do you know a woman likes you? She'll cooperate, or as other people say, she'll comply. The more a woman complies, the more she likes you. The more a woman cooperates, the more she likes you. So any resistance, shout out Mr. Lucario, any resistance from a woman is disinterest. And this is what we need to understand. You guys need to understand. I now understand, thanks to Mr. Lucario. But any disinterest, any resistance is disinterest. Now, he would have known. She didn't want to date me. That is resistance. So that is disinterest. Okay? But he persisted, okay? And so, so he's basically saying, putting her on a pedestal. And that is, if you treat her like a celebrity, she'll treat you like a fan. So we're already beginning, he already doesn't understand women. This clearly shows he doesn't understand the dynamics of men and women. And it's not to talk crap about him, it's just so we can learn. Alan was an awesome man.
Dance instructors like to go on a cruise and not be called players. We ended up having pretty compatible.
Alan seemed reborn. He was so very happy.
They ended up falling madly in love and got married within 2 years.
Okay, so he may have fell madly in love, Miriam, and she doesn't age well, but he may have fell madly in love. But she, we all know that women can be performative. And, you'll see later on after his murder, after she ends up murdering him, she's going to move back, I believe, to Florida, and she's going to get on a, like a millionaire matchmaker website to seek out, basically seeking arrangements. She's going to seek out wealthy men. So once again, she, murders her rich husband, Alan, and she goes to Florida and she tries to seek out another, beta male provider. So this is her shtick. So she has no problem being performative. But women get disgusted with themselves because they truly want the alpha bang guy, but they get disgusted with the beta male provider because they don't respect him. And, I've seen it so many times, that women just get so frustrated because they're so just disgusted with the guy. And it's not personal, it's just how women operate.
Each other.
They would talk about how they would go out on the boats late at night to watch the sunsets together, have an evening cocktail, and just how they felt like they had just found a true partner late in life. It was just like a little fairy tale come true. It's June 10th, 2008. Typical, beautiful Tuesday morning in Whitewater. And Miriam leaves to go run some errands. Alan was going to get his car serviced, and then they were going to meet up for lunch.
She stopped to get cigarettes, stuff for her horse.
So she's doing all these errands.
Decides to leave and head home. Miriam gets home. It looked like the house had been ransacked.
At that point, she sees Alan laying on the kitchen floor on his back with blood under his head. She calls 911 immediately. She's sobbing. She's frantic.
It's all bloody. Is it bloody? Yeah. Where's he bleeding from? It looks like the back of his head. It looks like somebody's been there.
We knew patrol had been dispatched out to what was reported as a robbery, and then we had a deceased person on scene.
Robin Martin is a detective who worked the case. When the first officers arrived on the scene, they find Miriam distraught and kneeling over her husband.
Alan was
Women can be very performative.
on the floor in the kitchen. It looked like he had been shot in the head, and we had a bullet casing next to his body. They did a very quick security sweep to make sure there wasn't a suspect still on scene.
There's no one in the house, as they can.
All right, let's move forward to some more learning lessons. Here's her giving an interview.
It's Miriam, right?
Investigators are trying to solve this murder. The first 24 to 48 hours are critical, and she is the first person you want to talk to.
Miriam was at our office. As we do with all, what were you doing today? Can you go through your day for us?
I have some errands I need to run today, so we would meet later, so he got in the shower and got dressed. Okay, what time did you leave?
And what did she tell investigators about her whereabouts that morning?
She started listing off everywhere she had been. She told us that she was calling Alan several times, was getting his voicemail. Hi, Alan.
This is a very common tactic. She's trying to lay down alibis, but, this is so common that, where are you? I'm trying to get a hold of you.
Just to let you know, I'm going to Walmart. If you're going to meet me for lunch, let's meet at the Chinese buffet. Love ya.
She's already, done him in. So, this is all nasty. Love ya.
Bye.
Then what happened? I still hadn't heard from him. And,
So by her looking all confused, where is he? What's going on? Trying to call him. Who tries to call a dead guy? She doesn't know. Of course not, right? But this is so common.
I'm there to Orchard, Mason City Market to pick up his prescription. Okay. What time is it now? I probably got there about 10. Do you want 10?
Hey, Alan. You need to turn your phone on. Question for you. Once I picked up your prescription, they said that you hadn't been by yet.
Oh, so surprised.
Are we still going to be able to meet for lunch? It's not like you to not call me, so give me a holler. Thanks. Bye.
Not like you to not call me.
So I left a message and told him I was going home in case he decided to meet me there anyway.
Okay, Alan, this isn't funny anymore.
Not funny anymore. Yeah, come on.
A Chinese place for 15 minutes, and you're never late. So would you call me?
Come on. Waiting 15 minutes at the Chinese place. Come on. got all the
She
receipts.
actually went from one end of the valley to
Yeah, so anyway, she planned that.
She was tested for gunshot residue.
Yeah, because she went home and took a shower. She's not going to have any gunshot residue on her. Let's keep going. Where do we want to go? Let's go here.
To that police interview, Miriam says something that would raise the eyebrows of any homicide detective.
In Delta. And somebody tried to torch our car.
So the car actually got torched in Delta?
Had Alan's killer made an earlier attempt on his life?
That's correct. Yes, she did. She did try. Let's go back to that. Right here.
Were they able to glean anything else on the crime scene?
no security cameras from the surrounding businesses, no video footage whatsoever of what had transpired.
The police both questioned Miriam and Alan after the car incident.
So this is the important part. Listen, she had gas smell on her hands. She was acting very weird. And then 2 weeks later, she's implicated in this, so it's obviously her. But watch how Alan reacts.
You have no idea who would do this to you or Alan?
No, not at all. I mean, it's just weird. I don't know. We've been hashing it over since last night. We can't figure it out.
Alan didn't have a lot of enemies, and so...
Alan may be gullible, but police aren't, and this is what, women deal with gullible dudes, but, they don't, police aren't gullible. They don't have any, they don't have a dog in that fight with you.
Who would want to kill Alan in that kind of way by blowing up his car? That was a real mystery.
Do you know anyone that would have a problem with you?
I do not. Over the years, in fact, because I was...
And this is an issue I always say. You don't know how much, women don't respect the beta male provider. I say, Alan, he doesn't know how much he's not liked. He doesn't know how much, his wife does not respect him and doesn't love him. He doesn't know how much danger he's in because he's put himself as a beta male provider,
In this area, there's going to be some unhappy people because I turn people down on loans from time to time. But I think I was well respected in the savings loan industry. There are two people that have had a problem.
Okay, who are those two people?
Alan mentions two bankers with whom he had prior dealings, but quickly downplays their potential involvement in the arson.
I can't imagine them being vindictive because they're too much exposed.
Right.
They do stupid things, but they're not stupid people.
Investigators will ultimately determine that those bankers are not involved, but they're exploring every avenue, even asking Alan if he thinks it's possible Miriam
Here we go.
could have been responsible for the car fire.
Oh, God. No, I don't think that.
Not at all.
That would be terrible. Now, why would she do that?
Why? There you go. There's the. Why would she do that? That's the fatal flaw right there. Why would his wife do that? Because you presented yourself as a beta male provider. You don't understand. And again, I'm not going. Alan was a great man. I'm just saying, and this is for future people that don't want to see what's in front of their face. Is beta male provider. You weren't respected. You tried to get with a lady who had disinterest already in the beginning. You were persistent. You got her to marry you, whatever. And so she already had disrespect for you. This is a man who doesn't understand how relationships work. And I think she's stealing money from him, but I'm not sure. We'll look in a little bit.
Alan and Miriam had mentioned that Miriam would not hurt Alan or harm him because Alan was worth more to her alive.
And really, she gets nothing from what she has to leave her house and go back and live with her son because she married him. She had $0. She leaves him with $0 because he did have a prenup, and the lifestyle that Alan was providing, she could not keep up after his murder. It wasn't money that she just wanted out of being with. And this is what I say: women are disgusted with being with the beta male. And I don't want to make it a moral issue or not. Now, obviously, murder's wrong, but this is where women get they're just, they're at a loss, and they think that if they can control the situation and become, their image and their reputation is so important that being a widow or widower, or whatever you want to call it, widow, right, is more important than being a divorcee. You know what I mean?
If he were dead.
What would she gain if you died yesterday?
What he would get is a mess. She has nothing that was created prior to the marriage.
Alan was convinced that it wasn't Miriam, and if the investigators in Delta had any suspicions of Miriam being involved in this, Alan was the first to defend her and say she wouldn't do this.
And besides, what reason would Miriam have for trying to kill Alan? He'd always...
Because she's not in love with him,
Alan loved Miriam, and he was always happy to dote on her, buying her lavish gifts like her own dad.
Bought her own dance, lavish gifts on her, but beta male providers think that women respect this. They don't. Women don't love you, they love the way you make them feel, okay? They want you to, they want to feel a certain way around a man, and that is your presence, okay? You have to understand this. Your presence is enough. A woman that really is into an alpha bang guy does not need presence, does not need gifts, does not need her own dance studio. He was in her dance class, so he buys her a dance studio. This dance studio business is hemorrhaging money. Once again, his wife and a lot of times women cannot manage money, okay? And this horse training business, which is a loss leader apparently, also hemorrhaging money. And all his friends told him, don't do it, don't, And I mean, he's got it. This is actually the place, the huge barn, horses. She had $0 when she met him. This is a really nice place.
Horse training business, always intent on making her lifelong dreams a reality.
And what's he get for it? A bullet in the back of the head. I mean,
Oh, I told him, I said, hey, get your head up your ass.
Sounds like he really wanted to make Miriam happy.
I think so.
Yep.
Alan was always very good with his finances.
Your mental point of origin needs to be you. He's making her his mental point of origin. This is a big mistake. Women don't want to be the focus of, they want you to be their focus. You can't make a woman your focus. You have to make you your focus, and she will follow. You're the leader, she will follow. So take care of yourself first, and the team will be good.
But with the horse business and the dance business, they were hemorrhaging money.
As investigators began digging into Alan's finances, they found that bad business decisions had left him in a serious financial hole. But were his money troubles enough of a reason for someone to want him dead?
Yeah, I don't know. Here's her again.
What's it like around here with Alan, I guess?
Quiet. I'm missing my right arm. I feel like I'm just missing
Performative.
my life.
I mean, this is the woman that put a gun to the back of his head.
Don't know what to do.
Yeah, And the news lady asks her, because he's murdered in his own house, in her house, right? Because they live together. A beautiful house, by the way, which she had $0, so he provides her a nice house, a beautiful house. But again, once again, women don't care about the things you buy them. Women don't care, it goes back to Rollo Tomasi's hypergamy don't care. They don't care about the kids you adopt. They don't care about the horse business you bought them. They don't care about the dance studio you bought them. But the news lady asked her, she goes, aren't you afraid the killer might come back? And she kind of you can kind of tell Miriam's like, no, I'm good.
Run-ins with the law.
So what she's talking about there is his son. That's his son giving an interview. She's dropping his son, and we've seen women do this, drop other people in the grease. Here we go. This talks about the car thing.
Ever have any bad blood between you two or anything like that?
Not from my standpoint. Not at all, no.
Any enemies that you know of without Alan telling you, or any, said rumors that, Alan's not a good guy or anything like that?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
And there was that mysterious car fire just weeks earlier. Everyone wondering, could the two incidents be linked?
think it all is maybe connected?
She knows they are.
So we didn't figure that out. It was, it was a shock to us. But he never mentioned anything about anybody that would do something like that.
Yeah, he didn't think
As
you
days
would.
passed with no suspects in custody, Miriam became convinced she was being watched. She reported seeing a white pickup truck with a driver's...
That's all lame. She drops her own note saying that you're next, you know. But she bought it. They find out she bought it from. That's her buying it from the store.
is caught on surveillance tape here. And just who that person is will take everyone by surprise.
You see it clear as day.
Then a bombshell discovery from decades earlier.
The piece of evidence that was really the smoking gun.
So she puts a card under her own mat saying, you know, Alan was first, you're next, run, run, run. So anyway, that's her trying to divert the police, acting like the suspect's still out there to get her. So let's see if there's any. Oh, okay. We'll just cover this and then we'll call it.
A lot in common with her. He liked to dance and he loved horses, all this stuff.
Hold on a second. Here we go. So look, she's moved out of Alan's house because she couldn't afford it, and here we go.
Was the death of her first husband, that case, ever reopened?
No, it was ruled a suicide.
But with clouds of suspicion gathering over Miriam about the death of her second husband, she does something unexpected.
I met Miriam on a dating site.
A millionaire match?
Millionaire match.
Your profile?
Millionaire match. Look at the gem she's lured in.
No, it was ruled a suicide.
But with clouds...
And and this is the thing about beta male predators, is that she knows what to say.
Gathering over Miriam about the death of her second husband, she does something unexpected.
I met Miriam on a dating site.
A millionaire match?
Millionaire match.
Your profile described me to a T.
Your profile described me completely.
Investigators are starting to wonder if they could actually have a...
This is right here. You'll always hear this, by the way. I'm a very sensual and sexual person. Okay? Women will always say this to you when they're getting to know you. All women will say this. It doesn't matter. They are very sensual and sexual to the guy they want to be sensual and sexual with. If you're not that guy, if you're the beta male provider, which this guy's about to be, but what do they know? This goes back to that one video I said with Auntie Anita, the guy said was, on point. Women don't care about their sex. It's more for men. We could do without it. Come on. It's their strongest agency and they use it all the time. And this is no shade against them. I mean, hell, but we can't believe that, it ain't nothing. They don't even care. Women don't care about. Yeah, when they want something, what do? Where do they go? What's their go-to? Right there.
Widow.
Black and white, literally.
I mean, she was finding the husband, she was looking for the money, and then moving on.
We have to meet. Uh-huh. Right.
This company for about 20 years.
So millionaire
I did
here.
very well for myself.
Yeah, well.
Miriam had contacted me first. She saw your profile and loved it.
Saw your profile and loved it. I can dance any dance.
And I'm pretty good at it. Your profile requirement described me complete to a T.
Look at her setting them up. I mean, she just murdered Alan. I think this is several weeks from it. It's not very long. And even her friends were like, what, already? And look at her setting this guy up. I mean, this guy's, I'm not trying to be mean, but, he's not a looker,
She says, I'm going to go down there. I said, what?
See?
I mean, this is just months after Alan.
Months, see?
Even my girls were like, she's dating already?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Beta male predator.
We met at TGI Fridays. She was very talkative, very nice. We hit it off really good, actually.
So what? This is a very good. No, she was performative, And women, when they want something, again, there's two ways they're going to act, right? With the beta male provider, if you're marked as a beta male provider, right, she's going to be performative, and she's going to act like you guys are getting along so well, right? She's going to have the same performance that she would when how she really feels around a guy who is an alpha bang, right? To that guy, she naturally acts a certain way, okay? But with this guy, she's going to be performative. And how you going to know? Because once she gets what she wants, that behavior will stop. You know, a lot of guys, once they get married, the sex turns off. You know?
Miriam even opens up about the recent loss of her husband.
Miriam had told me that her husband had died of some brain disease.
No.
That we
never and this is another lesson. These are so many gems here. What do we say? Never believe a woman's story. It's not that we don't trust women, we just don't trust them. We don't trust their stories, but we do trust them, but we will verify their stories. We don't believe their stories, at face value.
We felt he was going to die soon anyway, and there was no big deal. We were just waiting for the time.
I mean, and that's what's messed up. We were just waiting. No, he got murdered, And so it was no, in the way she said that, it was no big deal. If she was authentic, she'd be like, yeah, it was horrible. She would talk honestly about this. You know what I mean? We were just waiting for the time. She's actually being honest to a certain degree. Yeah, she was waiting for the time to get out of that marriage. She hated it.
She handled his death very well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, who handles the death very well? The suspect.
I said, okay, well, big deal.
Miriam may have been...
I mean, that's why you got to verify. I mean, this is dangerous. I mean, she's had two husbands that have already been murdered, and this guy's like, cool, That's why you can't be, necessitous.
Put Alan's death behind her, but back in Colorado, investigators are taking a closer look at her, starting with her alibi from the day of Alan's murder.
Went to Orchard Mesa Market. I went to Walmart. I think I have all the receipts in my pocket.
All the receipts. All right, let's see if we can get anything left. Yeah.
Through her, I can't even get to him.
He wasn't.
She controlled access to him.
He wasn't returning voicemails.
Hi, Dad. It's Portia. I hate to bother you so much.
Yeah, she was like narcissistic. She was controlling access to him. This is the car on fire.
Not right here.
Not right here where she just went to the restroom. She actually went across 4 lanes of traffic, which...
That's strange.
Very strange.
Did she ever come back?
Not while I was on scene.
She stayed over there.
She stayed over there.
While he's investigating the car fire.
You went into the ladies' room.
We did.
What did you find there?
We smelled the odor of gasoline. It was fairly strong.
Since investigators learned that Miriam had been standing at the trunk right before Alan discovered the fire, they decided to bluff him, telling Alan there was surveillance video of the incident to see if he thought his wife could have
This is
been
important.
responsible.
I watched the video.
Is she on there?
I'm asking you, what do you think?
Now, is she on there?
I'm
Did she
asking
like
you
it?
what you think.
No, but I could be wrong.
We bluffed Alan, and he said he didn't believe it.
And you didn't answer my question. You looked at the video.
Yeah.
Nice little flick there. If you'd seen her on the video doing that, I would have been shocked.
And there's the thing. If he would have just had that he would have been shocked. If he would have just had that little piece of, that would have saved his life. They're trying to help him. I mean, the police are like, tell him, look, man, it could be. He's, again, this is a man that does not understand women,
Last year, it was a popular movie where the villain had created a distraction by lighting a magazine, sticking it into the gas inlet, and exploding the car.
As police are looking into this, they discovered that the Helmiaks had rented that movie about 4 days prior to the incident.
Was this the smoking gun or smoking car?
It definitely was part of the investigation. Miriam was not charged with the arson in Delta because of...
Yeah, she's not charged with it. They go looking for this bullet here. Trying to see if there's anything else that we can get from this. I think she was taking money, but that might not come up in here. Yeah, no, this is where she's charged. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But look how many gems we got from that, you know? But again, the beta male provider, you know, is obvious. I mean, you know, we can sit, you know, someone can sit here and say, well, y'all making that up, blah, blah, blah. How do you know he was a beta male provider? Well, what does she do after he's murdered? She goes on Millionaire Matchmaker and finds another mark, finds another target. You're just what I needed. We hit it off well, you know? You gotta understand this stuff. This stuff is more important than college degrees. This stuff, you know, this stuff is more important than, you know, I mean, getting a driver's license. I mean, whatever. I mean, this is your life. You have to understand how to deal with women if you're a man, you know? You know, and you know, like I said, you got to know when you're not respected. Alan couldn't see it. He didn't. I mean, from minute one, he doesn't understand. He didn't understand. You know, he thought you know, by being persistent with women, you know, like we see, you know, in the, you know, play the what's that that movie that, you know, he holds the boombox up and play Peter Gabriel, sure thing, yeah, pay Peter Gabriel outside her house, and you know, or you know. And she'll, you know, fall in love with you, you know, and, you know, play some sad music and, you know, tell her how much you love her and tell her how much you're devoted to her and how much you've fallen in love with her and how much she means to give her. And it said it here, you know, and she even said it. Alan would give me anything I wanted. She said, you know, which I didn't get to cover it here, but it's okay. And she said, Alan would give me money to go shopping, and he would say, have fun like hell or something like that. But, you know, women are disgusted with men that think they have to provide things for them. Women want the man that knows his presence is enough, and that's the alpha bang guy. Women don't love you, they love the way you make them feel. And I'll say it again. Women don't love you, they love the way you make them feel. And any resistance is disinterest. And I go back to Rollo Tomasi. She makes you wait for sex. The sex is not worth the wait. And that's when Alan was being persistent, she was making him wait for sex to a certain degree, right? And because what is it about? It's not about the sex, it's about genuine burning desire. And you both need to have that in the relationship through the entire relationship, for that relationship to work. Desire is what keeps you together. Desire is what makes you both not want to leave. If you don't have desire, then she doesn't care if you leave. You don't care if she leaves. You both need desire for one another. That cannot be created. That is a feeling you both have for each other. You both need genuine burning desire. Because in Rollo Tomasi's Iron Rollo Tomasi 3, the same woman that makes you wait is the same woman that'll bang the hot guy in the foam cannon party 30 seconds after meeting him. It's about genuine burning desire. The only thing you have in a relationship to get someone to comply with you is that genuine burning desire. Because the only thing you have is your time and attention. If a woman's not doing something you want, or on the opposite side, if a man's not doing something a woman wants, then what can you do? You can take your time and attention away from that person. And if that person has genuine burning desire for you, they should then want to change their behavior, because the person that they have genuine burning desire for is taking his time and attention away. And that's brutal for someone who has genuine burning desire for somebody. But it's not brutal for someone who's using a beta male provider. Okay? All right. We'll see you on the next one.